Alright, hey there again, Pink Sox Nation. Coach Charles coming back at you with the second video. This video, we're going to talk about some throwing mechanics and some hitting techniques, how to stand in the hitter's box, and the technique that I introduced or refamiliarized some of you with called pepper, which is to build your hand-eye coordination while you're at bat. First thing we're going to do when we talk about throwing now is you grip the ball. It's a pretty big ball, so you might have to use all 5 of your fingers, depending on the size of your hands. But the important thing is that it's not about how hard and wild you throw. It's about your technique. First thing you're not doing is this. You're not trying to shove the ball. You're not trying to push it, all right? You want to come back. You see how my arm goes over the top like that? The other important thing to do is to not flip your wrist. Don't turn it this way, don't turn it that way, don't do anything crazy like that with it in midair, because even if you wind up like crazy, if you let the ball go like this, guess what's going to happen? Yeah, it's going to go straight down, all right? You don't want that, all right? It's not about how hard, it's about your release point and your technique, okay? So when you're throwing the ball, if you flick the ball this way, well, guess what? The ball's going to go in that direction. If you flick the ball down, it'll go down. So look at what my hand looks like when I'm facing you. All right? I'm ready. It should be going straight. When I release that ball, it's going that way. Now, depending on how far away you are from the target that you're throwing at, you may need to change your release point. Sometimes, you're throwing a short throw from, say, second base over to first base. It's not that far. You can go pretty straight. Let's say you're throwing from center field and you're trying to get a runner that's trying to score at home. Well, you'll probably release the ball a little bit higher up because as a ball travels, it's going to lose momentum, which means it's going to start dipping down. So if you angle it higher, it'll come up, and what comes up must come down, like a parabola, all right, like a big rainbow arc, all right? So you'll get used to that. Some of you may not yet have the arm strength to, say, make a throw from third base all the way over to first base because it's about 84 feet. It's a pretty big space. But from second base to first base, that's only 60. From the pitcher's circle to home plate, it's only about 45. So it really depends on, we'll look at you. We want to get you used to throwing, but we also don't want you to hurt yourself. That's why technique is important. Throwing properly will help you prevent injuries to your shoulder, to your elbow, to your wrist, and it'll help make your throws more accurate. It may not seem like such a big deal. Oh, I just turned my wrist just a little bit this way. What's the big deal? It may not feel that big a deal if you're close to the target you're throwing. But let me show you something with this whiteboard, okay? All right. Ideally, if you're here and you're trying to throw to this person right here, you want to throw it as straight as you can, right? But if you do this and you turn your wrist sideways and you don't have the proper technique, that may wind up going that way, okay? Now, it's not really that bad in the grand scheme of things because your person catching right here may still be able to make a play and go this way, right? It's a zone 2 catch, right? Not a basket catch. You watched the first video, right? All right, I know you did, all right? So it's a zone 2 catch. You're still close enough where maybe you can lunge over and get that, maybe not. But let's take it back and say you're all the way out here. If you use that same motion you did here, now that little margin of error goes all the way out there. There's no way this person's getting all the way over there. It's just not going to happen. Those little errors, the further away you are, the worse it becomes, the worse the target becomes, all right? The further off you'll be, okay? So that's why it's important to learn the proper techniques when you're throwing. You want to look at your glove. If you've ever played a game like Minecraft, or maybe you've done something at school on a Chromebook or a computer, and they have like a mouse and a cursor. Wherever the cursor is, when you press your button on the mouse, something happens at the location of that cursor, right? That's what it's there for. It's how you aim what your mouse is doing. Use the top of your glove, just like that cursor. You point it towards what you're going to throw at, And then this is your mouse. I'm pointing towards that way, that's where I want to throw, and that's the way I'm facing. I'm not trying to shove the ball. It's over the top, and like that. I have my sights, I'm lined up, and here I go. All right, that's how you want to throw. We'll work on that. We'll throw to a couple different bases. We'll see, how your arms work. But the important thing is we want you to be able to throw at different distances effectively, but without hurting yourselves. All right, we don't want you to get any injuries, because as someone with permanent shoulder damage from my years of guitar and then being on the force, it hurts a little bit, my shoulder these days. So I want to avoid those injuries for you guys growing up. All right. Now, this, you know what this is, right? All right, now I'm not going to swing in here because I don't want to break my computer or any of my stuff. That's just not going to be a good day. All right, we're going to talk about your basic batting stance. If you're a righty, your left hand is on the bottom, your right hand is right on top. If you're a lefty, your right hand is on the bottom, and your left hand is on the top. Now, this nub of the bat right here, you don't want to be on it, because look, then you want to have your full grip on the bat. You also don't want to be right up against it, because when a bat gets hit by a ball, it's going to send a vibration, and that can hurt your hand right here. So I recommend leaving either a pinky or a thumb, depending on how big your fingers are, space between the nub of the bat and your bottom hand. All right, that'll give you a good grip. If you're too high on the bat and you try to swing, that nub can actually fracture your arm. I've seen it happen to people. It's not a good injury, all right? So your basic grip is like this. You're standing up. You're not standing like this and trying to swing like this. You're not trying to swing your whole body. This is like a crazy Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? This is not how we're going to swing, right? We're going to swing. We have our arms out, right? Look what it looks like from this side. I'm like this. I'm ready to go, okay? What you don't want to do with your bat is lay it down like this, or rest it on your shoulder, have it dip down too far, because the top of the bat is much heavier than this part. So if you have the bat down like this, one, you have to do extra work, because now you're lifting the bat up before you swing. And two, in doing that, the weight of this bat is going to carry you with it. You're going to be swung by the momentum. Think about if you've ever been in a car and someone makes a turn a little bit too fast and you go up against the door. That feeling of inertia is the same principle when it comes to the bat. So if you have this heavy bat resting down here and you go to swing it, you're going to be taking, you're going to be going the way the bat wants to go. You're not going to be making the bat go the way you want it to go, which is what you want. Now when you are batting, don't wait for the ball to get right here before you swing. If you wait for it to get here, it's going to be too late, because you're going to be swinging it where it was. Because the whole time that it's not going to just stop here and wait, all right? If it's right here and you start swinging, it's still moving this way, and you're probably going to be too late on it. You don't want to swing it where the ball is. You want to swing it where the ball's going to be. I know that sounds like some Jedi trick, but it's not. You'll get the timing down as you see different pitches. Certain pitchers throw faster, so you may require to adjust your timing a little bit to build that coordination. But you don't want to swing right here because it's too late. You want to swing when it's probably right around here, so that when your bat comes around, you've made that perfect contact. When you do swing, it's not a weak swing. But you also don't want to swing like crazy with your eyes closed. You're twirling around like in the cartoon, spinning yourself into the ground. You're not trying to kill the ball. You're just trying to make contact. And you feel the contact, you take off. You run towards first base as hard as you can, like you are on fire, because that's where you need to be, okay? Sometimes you'll hit a ball 1 or 2 feet in front of you, and that's enough, because if the fielders aren't alert, you take advantage of that and you go all the way to that base, right? So until you hear me or Coach John or the umpire say, no, it was a foul ball or it doesn't count or whatever, you feel contact, you drop your bat, do not throw it. They do not like throwing. That's you get in trouble for that. Drop your bat down and run as hard as you can to first base. A lot of times you'll get on base and who cares if it only went 2 feet? It's not about how far the ball travels. It's about how hard you hustle out of that box, okay? Now, how do we build hand-eye coordination? Pepper. Get into your normal stance, all right? Take your bottom hand and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're holding the bat up here. You can't swing like this. If you do, you'll hurt yourself here, okay? So what you're just trying to do is make contact. Someone will underhand pitch it to you, and you're just trying to not swing your whole body. Just do this. Just try to make the connection. You want to see the ball the whole way through and watch the bat hitting the ball. So you're doing this. You're just trying to get used to that concept of the bat and the ball meeting one another, all right? It's just like this. It's a push. It's a push. It's not a swing. It's not this. It's not this. Same thing when you're at the plate. You're not, smacking fish in the river, and you're not hitting piñatas in the sky. You're trying to be level, all right? With pepper, it's just a push. Once you've got that position down, you drop down a position. And to do that, you take your top hand and go 1 and 2. Now still, you can't swing. All right? Same concept. You're just pushing, all right? It's just about making the contact. You want to watch the ball, not the pitcher. Don't watch where you think the ball is going to go. You're not trying to hit it. You're not going to hit it far with this. You're just making contact, all right? It's just about, bink, little contact. Just putting the bat to the ball, just like that. Once you've got that down, you'll drop down again. And what do you know? Now you're back to where you started. Now you're in your regular batting position, and you're ready to receive some pitches. Now you can do your full swing and do the same thing. Watch that ball come through. Watch your bat hit the ball. It looks silly. It does. But I promise you, it works, okay? You got to practice at it. That's one of those things you got to do. It really does help build the hand-eye coordination and get you used to the idea of just because, sometimes you'll see a ball be here and you'll think, oh, the ball's right there, I can swing at it. But just because the ball is there, if you're not watching it the whole way through, your swing may be good, but you may be swinging under it as it passes the perfect spot. You want to see it the whole way through. You want to see your bat hit it. Don't look at where you want to hit the ball. All right? Look at the ball. Worry about it once it is hit. All right? Then you just take off. All right? When you do hit the ball, don't wait to look where it goes. Like I said, you feel contact, take off. You run. All right? Over the next couple of weeks in practice, we'll be doing this. We'll keep working on this. We'll keep working on the fielding like I did in video 1. And then we're going to start working more on stuff like what we did at the end of practice on Tuesday night, where you guys take the field and we rotate, batters and rotate fielders just to give everyone a feel for how it works. At our next practice, we're really going to start doing stuff like understanding what it means to cover bases, and we're going to be going over force outs versus tag outs and things like that. These are some of the things that can get a little bit confusing, especially in the heat of the moment. So that's why we're going to slow it down a little bit and make sure that you've got those basic concepts, because we have a game coming up, supposedly, on September 8th. So in just about 9 or 10 days, we should have our first game, so it should be a lot of fun. Again, any questions, let me know. Email me, call me, text me, whatever you need to do. I will be glad to clear up any of this. I know it's a lot of info, but that's what I'm here for. I want you girls to, to really enjoy this season. I want you girls to get the most out of it that you can and build those skills and build that confidence going forward, all right? Because, like I said before, I know you can all do it, all right? I promise you. I told my girls that in the spring, and you know what? They all did it. 7 of them are back this year in the fall, and they're still doing it. And you newcomers, you're definitely going to do it too, all right? I promise you that. You stick with it. Don't give up. We won't give up on you, all right? I'll see you girls Tuesday. Let's go Pink Sox.